visitors and friends. My name's Jade from the Rawsome Truth. If you've clicked on this video because you want to make your own personal Facebook forum grow, don't click off the video because you think, oh, she's not 20, she won't have anything to offer. 14 months ago, I started my own personal Facebook forum. It's a health and nutrition forum, and it's managed to grow to 32,000, and it's extremely active. I have 1,500 to 2,000 active posts at any one time. Now, the reason I decided to do this video is because I was going through my own personal Facebook page, and I saw that a guy was advertising. He'd paid for an advertisement to advertise his own Facebook forum. It was a juicing forum. And I thought, wow. And he only had about 1,400 people in it, which is a reasonable size, but I just thought, wow, why are you going to pay to start a forum? I started one only about 7 days ago, and I've grown it to 1,500. Admittedly, it's a fall off from my own group that I've already got, so it's a breakaway group, so a percentage, of course, have gone into there. But I don't believe anybody needs to pay in order to set up a Facebook group. So I've put together some ways to help you grow your own Facebook group, and this is what I've learned from my own personal experience. I haven't done any marketing courses. I haven't had any professional training. This is what I've learned along the way, and I think it's the greatest way to learn is from people who've actually done it, not read it in textbooks. So I'm going to start with my number one key. The first thing is you're starting your group and you think, well, I need people in there. Don't start randomly putting people into your group from your own friendship page if they're not interested in the actual group that you're setting up. One, there's nothing worse than being put into a group, but forget that. There's no point having a lot of people in your group if they're not interested in the actual topic. The whole purpose of starting a forum is to have like-minded people together to discuss the subject. If you've got fish out of water in your group, they are not going to be an asset to your group. In fact, at times they can be a hindrance. So, number one rule, keep them out of the page. Don't just randomly add people. Number two key is continually post. When you first start a forum, you have to continually put posts out there and help the group bond. It's just like if you were in person. So if you were starting a group in person, you'd have to play get to know you games so that people got to know each other, and you're going to talk about different things like what your interests are, where you live, or where you're from, or, you know, all that kind of small talk. You need to do the same thing on a group because people are reserved on forums just the same way they are in person. So putting simple posts up like, where are you from? Let's play a little game. What's your favorite color? All these kind of things are easy things that people say, oh, I can answer that. When you start putting out more complex posts, people are going to sit back because most people are joining groups because they want to learn. So if you start putting out complex questions, they're going to say, I don't know the answer. Am I going to look silly? But if you put out simple things like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite food, and things like that, it makes it simple for people to answer, and they're going to start joining into the group and starting to feel comfortable with other people in the forum. And that's one of the major keys to having a successful group. It's helping people to build friendships in there so they want to stick around. Number three, be prepared to put yourself out there. I had a friend say to me the other day, oh, I've got a group, but I don't really use it that much because it's not very interactive and, you know, I don't know what to do. And I said, you've got to put posts out there. He said, yeah, but I feel a little bit egotistical if I just keep putting posts out about myself. I said, do you want your group to grow? Yes. Do you want to get your message out there? Yes. Do you want people to know you? Yes. Then you've got to put yourself out there. I know at first you feel a little bit silly because you're putting yourself out there, and at first when you're starting groups, they're very small. Nobody's liking it. and you're thinking, wow, I'm putting all this time and energy into these posts and nobody's liking it. What am I going to do? But eventually, people are going to get used to seeing your name in their newsfeed, and they say, you know what, I'm going to check out what this person's doing. Then they will start to be involved in your group. So, because people join groups all the time. I join groups, and then eventually I start going, gee, I actually like that group, and that's how you start to warm into a group. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to put the knowledge out that you want people to gain from you. Don't feel like you're wasting the post, because you reserve them. You can put them out again later. So don't think, oh, I put it out 6 months ago, no one liked it. 6 months down the track, when your group's interactive again, put it out. Also, if it's a really important post and you think people are going to gain something from it, put it in your pinned post. So it's there to lead people to, and by the time people start joining your group, you've got a large pinned post. People say, wow, there's so much information here. I love this group. So you're never wasting your time writing an article. Look, you can build them into blogs later. You can put, mini posts on Instagram. You can use the posts for other things to draw people to your group and to draw people into following you. So don't ever feel like you've wasted your time. It's just part and parcel of building a group, and to expect that not everyone's going to like your posts at first. But as you start building the group up and people start having confidence in you as a mentor, as someone that they're growing with, then they will start to like your posts. Know your message. Now, this is my number 4 key. You have to know what message you're putting out. If you're starting a daffodil group, don't start moving into roses and saying, well, it's okay, I think they want to talk about roses too. It makes it very confusing for people joining the group. If you've called your group Daisy's Daffodils and you've put in the description that your group is about daffodils, and all of a sudden they look and it's all about roses, they're going to be scratching their head and thinking, how's this going to help me grow my daffodils? And it's really important that you stick to that message. And I know sometimes it can be hard, but it is so important to stick to that message in order to build your group successfully, because people will want to go there to learn about daffodils rather than learning about roses. So stick to your message, be true to your message, and don't worry about anything else. Your message is daffodils, and that's what you want to put out there. Number 5 key, have rules in place for your group. I know it's hard to keep and put rules out there, because none of us want to be this Trojan, this master, and saying, here are the rules. But rules are extremely important in a group. Rules offer people safety. Rules offer people boundaries, and you need to have boundaries in order to build a successful group. If you don't have boundaries, you will find long-term your group won't grow, because it starts entering in people talking about roses. It also starts to bring in bullying. It'll start to bring in name calling. It'll start to digress from the actual message that you're trying to put out there. So have a list of rules. Make sure that you enforce them. Most of the time, most people will accept the rules. You're always going to have anarchists, and expect that. But if you have troublemakers who are not going to stick to your rules, they're no good for your group. One bad apple will spoil the lot. If they're constantly breaking the rules, get rid of them. And I know it sounds harsh, but in order to grow your group, you need to stick to those rules. Most people are very happy with rules in place, and you'll find will stick with them. Key number 6, be prepared not to be liked. Many people are going to like you, but there is going to be a small percentage of people that are just not going to like you. They're not going to like the message you put out. They're going to come into your group and cause anarchy. They're going to maybe argue with you, because let's say you've got a black cat group, they want it to be inclusive of white cat group, and they're going to constantly argue. When you have bad apples get into your group, the first thing you need to do is get rid of them. You need to show them the door. You can politely ask them first and say, look, this is a black cat group. If you want to continue to talk about black cats, you're more than welcome to stay in here. If you keep bringing in white cat information into my group, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to keep you in here anymore. They may be angry and they may go into white cat forums and tell other people about your group and say, you know what, he or she doesn't allow you to talk about white cats, it's wrong, whatever. Accept it. It's okay. In order to keep your message in line with your black cat message, you need to be strong and be able to say, hey, this group's just not for you. And it's okay. Anyone can start their own group. If people aren't happy that you've just got a black cat group, they can start a black and white cat group. They can start a black, red, white, rainbow coloured cat group. It's okay. But your message is a black cat group, so expect people not to be happy with you. And it's generally such a small percentage that it doesn't mean too much. You also find from those people they will help your group grow, because they'll get onto other forums and talk about your group. And when they're talking about your group, other people who are interested in just the black cats, they say, wow, I want to join this group. And you'll find you'll grow, and it's amazing also. So don't worry about the people that don't like you. They'll help you grow. Key number 7, be transparent. There's nothing better than following somebody who's honest, raw, and what you see is what you get. How many times do you follow people and you think, oh my goodness, everything that they do just seems so scripted. It's not real. I tend to shy away from following people like that. They don't do anything for me. Look, some people might like that, and that's okay. But my honest opinion, if you want to have a successful group and if you want to be successful, you need to be yourself. And don't think you have to be perfect. Often you put such high standards on yourself when you put yourself in a leadership role where you think, oh, I can't fail, I have to be absolutely perfect, nobody will follow me if I don't know all the answers. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to know everything about the subject you started the group about. All you need to do is make sure that what you put out there is true to your heart, and that you're trying your hardest to put the information out for people to help them. People can see that. People can see through you if you're trying to be something you're not. So it's really important to be true to yourself. I also think it's important to build strong relationships within your group. When you build strong relationships within your group, one, your group's going to grow because people like to have a happy environment to hang out in. But also, if people are happy to hang out in your environment, they're going to tell other people about your happy environment, which will help you build your group. So always be honest, transparent, real, and open and understanding. Key 8, make your group a spam-free group as much as possible. I've had many discussions and many arguments with people over the time over spam, but constant spam makes a group not enjoyable. People join forums because they want to discuss things. They want to talk with other like-minded people. If there's just constantly people in there trying to sell their books or sell their videos or sell whatever they're trying to sell, it doesn't make the group that enjoyable. And I've seen people in my group say, is there a group in Spanish or whatever that it's similar to this, but it's spam-free? People enjoy spam-free groups. Now, if you personally have something that you want to sell, which it might be your videos, your ebook, your programs, whatever it is, that's okay, but you don't need to constantly spam it every minute of the day either, because people can get a little bit tiresome of that too and think, are they only on here to sell? Don't they actually want to spend time with me? So be very mindful of what you do when it comes to spam, advertisement, and putting information out there. Key number 9, use other forms of social media to promote your group. So if you have a YouTube channel, advertise it on there. I have the link to my forum in the description of my YouTube videos. Probably 1 in every 3 or 4 videos, if I'm discussing things that are about my forum, I will then say I've got the link to my group in the description. So I'm prompting people to go into that group so that they can be part of the community I'm part of. When people are part of your community, they're more likely to watch your videos, they're more likely to like your Facebook page, they're more likely to be interactive within your Facebook group, and you're more likely, if you've got something to sell them, more likely to sell something to them. So it's a win-win situation. So always trying to prompt people to your community. Also, if you've got a Facebook business page, you can advertise it on there. I wouldn't suggest advertising it all the time, maybe once a week, and you can have a discuss. I wouldn't put it out just, here's my Facebook group. Generally, you write an article like, this happened today, blah, 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 blah. If you'd like to join in the fun, join this group. It's all happening. I never like to just put, here's my group, blah. That's not exciting for anyone. It's not stopping anyone in their shoes where they're saying, wow, I actually want to read what she's got out there. You've got to remember on social media, there's a lot of noise. So if you're trying to advertise your group, it's really good. Put a bright, vibrant picture. I wouldn't just put the link there. Put a bright, vibrant picture, something that's going to stop people when they're going through their Facebook news feed, something they're going to look at. Oh, what's that? Then they're going to, and then if they read it, have it something interesting that people are going to actually read. Click on the link, put some little arrows there so they can sort of really see. You've got to prompt people where to go because there's so much noise out there, people get confused. So put the little arrows there, join the group, put the link in there, bang, in they go. Always trying to move people further into your group, but do it subtly. Key number 10. Give free information. I don't know how many, especially health and nutrition, I'm not sure about other groups, but I've joined a lot of health and nutrition groups over the last 10 years. I've probably been on more forums than most people. And the number one thing that makes me cringe is when you join someone's group and all it is sales. What a turn off. And you look and you think, gee, that group is not going to grow, and it doesn't. If you're constantly putting out there, buy my program, buy my ebook, buy this, buy whatever, people are going to go, whoa. You need to give out free information. Putting out there YouTube videos. You can put your own YouTube videos out there. That's fine. Put some YouTube video links out there. Put some links of other people that have helped you. Don't just sort of keep it all to yourself. You need to give out further information for people. People want knowledge. People want to grow. Write articles or put in articles written by other people to help people further in their journey. If people aren't going to get anything from your forum, bar sales, there's no point for anyone to stick around. So that is probably one of the most important things that you need to do is help people grow. People are so hungry for information, and it's 2017. If they're not going to get it from you, they're going to find someone else who will give it to them. And there's so much free information out there. So don't think by hiding absolutely everything that you've got, all your knowledge, if you're hiding it all, I better not give it to anybody. Here, buy my ebook at $60 or whatever. People are going to say, you know what, all they want to do is sell. And that's how I feel as a person too. I just think, oh my God. But I've been in groups and they've given out plenty of information, and then, down the track they've said, you know what, I've got this for sale. You say, you know what, I don't mind buying of him or her. They've given me so much information. I love the information they've given me. I'm happy to purchase what they've got because I want to learn more from this person. So I think you've got to be really careful. I think you can crucify yourself as well by doing this, because people just say, wow, this person's just after money. And you see it too much these days with people just selling. And I've got nothing against people selling things. We've all got to survive. We've all got to make money. And I think if you're good at something, if you know your thing, so to speak, why not sell the information? That's okay. But don't be afraid to give out free information, because as I said, if they're not going to get it from you, they will find somebody, and then they will find trust in that person who is giving them free information, and they're not going to buy from you. That's my personal experience, how I feel as a consumer. And through my time in marketing, I have marketed myself over the years. It's just things that I've learned. I've been to many marketing seminars also, so they are things that I have learned over time. But that is one thing that I just think is so important. If you want your group to be successful, don't just be a salesperson, because people are going to say bye-bye. Now, last but not least, I had to put in one extra for a bonus: patience and consistency. I know we live in a Pop-Tart society and everyone wants things yesterday, but I don't care what you're doing in life. Whatever you want to be successful at, you can't expect it to happen yesterday. You need to work hard. It's not going to happen overnight. And I think this is in anything, in social media, in your fitness, in your health, in your business, whatever it is you want to grow, you have to be patient and you need to be consistent. Consistency is key. So don't just think, oh, I'm going to get on this forum once a month. Who cares? Yeah, people are going to join it. They're not. They might join it. I've got dead groups. I've got groups that I haven't worked on. And yeah, they'll join it, but I put a post up and there, no one's interested. No one knows who the hell I am, because I haven't been consistent in that group. Whereas the groups that I'm consistent in, they've built, they're interactive. You won't have an interactive group if you haven't built it, because no one else will interact in the group, because no one knows anything about the group. So if you're interactive in the group and you've built it up, people will be interactive, but it won't happen overnight. You need to put the time and the energy into putting those posts out there. If you're not in your group every day, you're not on your group. And it doesn't take long for people to forget you, because you will have turnover of people. You will have your stalwarts that are there and they're constantly there, and everyone else in your group knows them too, because they're there and they're posting, and you need those people. Don't worry if you've got people in your group that are constantly posting. They are what is helping you make your group successful. You need them there. So nurture these people. I know I've got a few girls in there that post so much. Sometimes I think they post more than me. And that's fantastic, because they are helping the success of my group. And if you want to have a successful group, you want people talking about your group, you want people joining your group, you need other people. Remember, it's not always about you. Even though part of you might think, you know what? This should have all been about me. It's not. That's not what a group's about. A group's about building community. And if you can build a community, people are going to naturally like you, naturally share things with you, and naturally trust you. So put the consistency in, put the time in, put the energy in, and put time into people. Don't just treat them as if there's something, whatever. They are human beings. They're people on the other side of the screen, and they're looking for a community. They're looking for like-minded people, and they're looking for someone like you to help them further on their journey. And I think social media is such a wonderful thing. You can set up these forums and you can discuss your interests with people from all over the world. What an exciting thing. What an exciting time we live in. Make the most of social media. Make the most of your forum, and appreciate the people that are in there, because those people that are in your group are helping drive you to your greatest success. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any comments or questions, please leave them below. Give this video a like. Join my group if you're interested in raw food, Raw Vegans Fruitarian for Life, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. Love life, live free. Bye for now.